Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Chisala. If you're new here, which most likely you are new, thank you so much for joining me. So for those people that want to skip my ranting and get to the video, start at the time post I'm going to put here. Okay, so first of all, let's address the issue, the elephant in the room that is in my head. Let's go. This has to be the 800th time I'm starting a YouTube channel. Not starting, continuing and saying, I'm back and I'm not going anywhere. And then I disappear like, poof. But anyway, it's not like anybody cares. But now, like, a girl is trying to get on her YouTube grind. So, what did I want to say? Oh, yeah, what I post here. So, I will be... English. I will be posting vlogs, true crime, something about fashion, because I just felt, like, fancy and whatnot. But, anyways, so today we're going to have... We're going to talk about a true crime story, which happened where? You will not believe. In Zambia. I just recently came back to my country, my home country, Zambia. So I was like, do we have serial killers here? Because I'm scared to start with. Second of all, and a girl, it interests me, true crime stories. It's always just interesting, the psychology behind everything. I'm just like, wait, why did you have to do that? Anyways, enough of my ranting. Let's go. Disclaimer, I got all this information from the internet, and I did not mean to disrespect any of the family members that are associated with these villains of today's story, the narrative. Anyway, so here I am narrating the story to you. So, here we go. I'm going to use the calmest voice ever. Okay, here we go. Serious now. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to help a girl grow her channel. So, this is the story of the Mailoni brothers. The Mailoni brothers were three brothers. It was a trio of serial killers that reigned in Luana Valley of Kabwe, somewhere in Zambia. Kabwe is a city in Zambia. And so what happened was, these three, their names are, not that I care, Mika, Stefano, and Fabian. So Mika was the oldest at 35. Fabian, also known as Tunda, was the second oldest, who was 31. And we have the youngest brother, Stefano, who was 27. So the story of these three. They were born from a mom called Jan and Jimu. Between the years of 1978 to 1986, that birthdays and all that stuff is not known, thank God. Like, we don't really want to know, you know what I mean? And their dad, he died for unknown reasons in the year 1986, unfortunately. So this trio, obviously, I mean, who does what they did? Very gruesome, very horrible. They were a bunch that were illiterate, you know what I mean? Like, they were just three brothers. They just screw up, crazy, I don't know. So what happened was, they also had a small brother, a younger brother called Nelson. Nelson was not part of the bunch. He was the good one. He was the golden child, maybe in this case we could say. So what they actually used to beat him up because he was nothing like them. Crazy. So let's talk about their lives before the murders. So how these people were, right? So Fabian, I really could not care to pronounce his name right. He was the only one who was married. I guess this is the only person that they mentioned had a wife called Eridina Mondoko. So with Eridina, they had like 4 kids, okay? So they had Christine, Mwape, Miniva, and then another child between Miniva and Christine. I guess Mwape was the oldest. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's not the point. So yeah, he was actually married. Imagine marrying someone like okay. Yeah, he was married. So Eridina was like, when she was interviewed, like, she used to like wonder, the husband used to sleep with an axe and a sword by his bedside. And then at midnight, he would get up and he would go out, like, like normal people do. Get up at midnight with your sword and your axe and be like, I'm out. And when Eridina asks him, like, bro, where are you going? He would just be like, well, and I quote, I am a Satanist. A Satanist is somebody who worships, well, Satan, not rocket science, right? Obviously, this was not a very conducive environment to live with your kids, like 4 kids, like what? They'll ask, like, why does dad do this? So they divorced, obviously, and that was in 2007. And what happened after they divorced is that this trio, these 3 brothers, went to Eridina's home, her house, where her parents were, I'm guessing, and killed Robson Mondoko, who's Eridina's dad. And that was not their first murder, but that was at the beginning. And that's just like, so I divorce you and you kill my, like, let's not even play those games. Like, Mr. Mondoko was not their first victim. Obviously, they had to be a first victim. And their first victim is not only known by the names Mr. Muelo, by the name Mr. Mwelwa. And why they attacked him, right, is because he tried to mobilize the village to fight against them. He was like, let's go. And then, yeah, they killed him. They stabbed him to death. These three brothers, they were terrorizing the Mkushi Serenje area of the Luana Valley. And so, obviously, this affected their family. Like, your children are absurd. Please help them. So, the mom was actually forced to flee to Kawasaki village, which sounds more Japanese than it does Zambian. I was like, what is this? Yeah, Kawasaki village, somewhere near Kawe. Because, yeah, they were terrorizing her. Like, the village people, they're like, your sons. Because everybody was obviously scared of the sons, right? So who's the next best thing? Mommy bear. So, yeah, she fled. And the villagers actually set ablaze her house. Which is like, wow. Okay, so one of the people was in prison. She actually told the police. She actually knew one of the people that had set the house ablaze. And she was like, it's you. And he was actually in prison. So he or she, I don't know. So that's good. Good on her. At least she got some justice in that way. These people, they had a bucket list of victims. About 12 victims, ranging from, like, actually they were all men. Ranging in age, obviously. Ranging in occupations. So yeah, and if you hear any noise, sorry. I actually live with my family and I have siblings and they're young, so they like run around the house. So yeah, so I'm gonna read the victim list. My sincere condolences to the families. I hope I don't butcher anything. So here we go. The first victim, we already discussed it, Mr. Mwelwa, who tried to mobilize the village against them. So Mr. Mwelwa was actually killed on the 21st of May 2007. Watson Kashanga, 10th June 09. Matthew Musonda, 29th October 09. Rabson, also called a Labson, was killed between Watson and Matthew. Somewhere, the date is not confirmed. Lakson Njinga, April 8th, 10. And if I say the number at the end, that means it's a year. Moses Musamba, who I'm wondering how he got involved, because it says here his occupation was Zambian Flying Doctors Services Chief Pilot. May 4th, 2010, that is. Then, oh my gosh, where is the rest? Oh, here. Alesai Washama, May 31st, 2010. Pensulu Mutolwa, June 12th, 2010. Blandini Isaki, 15th June 2010. Christopher Nyama Champe, advisor to the chief of Chimpupula village. Yeah, the date is not confirmed. Bakalwe Chipokolo, headman, chief of Shitambeni village. Darius Chinika, who was 43 years old, who was their last victim. Jesus Christ. Those were their victims. I mean, may their souls rest in peace. And also, finally, the death of these three maniacs. Goodness. I'm so glad that there were no gruesome and explicit explanations, or I don't know, what do you call them? Those things where people like tell you how it happened. There was no gruesome, there was no MO explained, like how they operated. So I was like, yes, because I can't imagine. This just sounds gruesome. I did not know people in my country murder other people. The death of these three maniacs, which happened on June the 24th of 2013, the end of their unnecessary violence. So what happened was Joe Chapella, who's a corporal of the Chindwin barracks of Kawe. I've never been there. He was called by the village people, and they were like, wait, we have something suspicious going on over here. So if you could check that out. And where they led him was near the Lusempo River, which is a crocodile-infested river. So they had set up, the brothers, they had set up camp there. And that's where like the villagers saw fresh footprints and also a fire. And they were like, wait, who can live here? Let's see who it is. And so Joe had staked out the place, you know, with the villagers, I'm guessing. And so they spotted two of the brothers. So after identifying two of the brothers and saying, these are like one of Zambia's most wanted people, let's get them, they called the Zambian army and they opened fire on the campsite, of course. I'm sure this had to be done so discreetly, you know what I mean? And so the last of the brothers, they were killed instantly, of course, gunfire. The last of the brothers to die was Fabian, who after he was shot in the leg, he still like ran after like a an army officer to like, I don't know what he was planning on doing, like just die. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, then they all died, and they were thanked. The army was thanked, you know. Michael Sata, who was the president at that point, at that time, God, point, he obviously gave honors to everybody that was involved in capturing, you know, and coming to, finally this thing came to an end. It must have been a very big thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and some of the army people, this creeped me out. Some of the army people were like, when they were shooting them, why it all ended so bloody was because when they started shooting them, they kind of like started changing into like animals or something, because, you know, these were kind of viewed as ritualistic killings that they were doing, you know. So it was weird, right? At the end of it all, the, you know, the government and the people who were involved in stopping these people finally said, guys, do not attack the family that's left. You know, Erdina, Janet, you know, the mom, like, don't attack them. They were not involved in any of this mischief that happened. This was just the brothers' work, okay? And so the people were asked, like, have mercy on them. Don't treat them any different. What the problem has been eliminated, period. So the mom actually did come out to say this might have been ritualistic. They might have been possessed by an evil spirit, because at one point one of the brothers got sick, and so he asked two of these brothers, like, escort me to a witch doctor. Why are you going to a witch doctor? Why can't you go to the clinic? And then they think after going to the witch doctor, they got possessed, and that's why they were thinking they were whatever they were thinking. Obviously, Eridina and her children have moved away from the place completely, because she's like, I'm not gonna be involved in this narrative. I divorced that man a long time ago before this whole thing started, which good for you, Eridina. And I hope the family is doing good now. So I'm finna end my video real quick because my storage is bothering me. And to delete a lot of stuff, selfies and whatnot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I was very mellow. This is not usually my personality, but you know, this is a true crime, very sensitive, so I had to be very mellow. Usually I'm popping, you know what I mean? So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I really hope I continue to post content. I'm so sorry I touch my hair a lot because it can't settle. Bye.